Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee Books and Rain. I am Rachel with my cup of tea, which is just about done, and a I was going to say a couple of novellas, but I'm only going to review one on this particular episode because I will record another episode for the other one that's not associated with this one. But I have a novella that I'm on the fence about. Now, I'm going to review it because I'm not sure where I stand with it. Was I intrigued? Yes, but I think I'm still spinning with it in my head. So let's talk about Don't Sleep with the Dead by Nghi. And this is a novella, as I said. It is only about 112 pages and it releases April 8th of 2025. Now what I might do is release this episode alongside something else. Like it may release on the same day as something else. And the reason being is I don't think this episode is going to be my 15 to 17 minute length. But let's dive into the summary and see what we think, because I'm still, again, on the fence a little bit. From award-winning author Nghi comes Don't Sleep with the Dead, a standalone companion novella, if I can speak right, to The Chosen and the Beautiful, her acclaimed reimagining of The Great Gatsby. Nick Carraway, paper soldier and novelist, has found a life in living watching the mad spectacle of New York high society in the late 30s. He's good at watching, and he's been even better at pretending to be straight, pretending to be human, pretending he's forgotten the events of that summer in 1922. On the eve of the Second World War, however, Nick learns that someone's been watching him, pretending that, and that memory goes both ways. When he sees a familiar face at a club one night, it quickly becomes clear that dead or not, damned or not, Jay Gatsby isn't done with him. In all paper, there is memory, and Nick's ghost has come home. So, again, it is considered fantasy. It says historical fiction, though when I think historical fiction, I don't think of taking a book like Great Gatsby, reimagining it, and then calling it historical fiction. It says retelling, which again, a retelling of Great Gatsby, and kind of whatever would happen beyond those pages of the Great Gatsby. It is LGBT, queer, and it is a novella. So let us go down here, because I did write a little bit of a blurb, but I am still kind of on the fence about what I thought. I had this in an audiobook form and I listened to it. Now, I did not read The Chosen and the Beautiful, but I'm feeling like maybe I need to, even though the summary says it's standalone. I feel like I want the backstory for what happened in the first one. Now, I personally have read The Great Gatsby. I have a master's degree in English literature, and so in the course of my education, I have absolutely read The Great Gatsby numerous times, probably watched several film adaptations and other interpretations of The Great Gatsby. So that was one of the reasons I picked it up. I wanted to see how Nghi was going to, I guess, interpret the story or take these characters that we felt that were kind of familiar and present them in a new way. It does have some science fiction-y, fantasy-esque moments. If you've ever also watched the TV show Twin Peaks, there are moments that my brain mentally visualized to be like Twin Peaks. There's like a room with red curtains and all this sort of stuff. And for some reason, there are some aspects to this novella that remind me of that. I do believe I also, in the audiobook version, it was only like two-ish hours. It really was not that long at all. So it went by very quickly, which is also another reason that I'm a little on the fence, is because maybe I didn't feel like I got enough to fully grasp what was going on. I walked in with no expectations, and I got Like, I did get some demons, and I got some bargaining, and I got Nick Carraway, who is missing, seems to be missing his heart or something along those lines. With these 100 pages, I felt like I was missing some pieces I needed in order to make a full cohesive story. Um, that does not mean to say I didn't find it absolutely fascinating. I just found myself to be a little bit confused. It does have some angst. It does have some relationship drama. It has a little bit of heartbreak and those sorts of things as well. And I thought it was good, very good. However, I'm missing pieces. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together, especially like a jigsaw puzzle, where you can see what the image is looking like, but you're not quite seeing the full thing because you haven't gotten it all complete. Um, so I give this probably 4 stars in my personal opinion. And with the fact that it's only 100 pages, it's um it doesn't have the chance to be like slow, or the pacing seems like it doesn't have a chance to be, yeah, slow. The pacing is not, everything goes very, very fast. And so you're getting in a lot of like this woven story in such a short period of time that you can consume it very quickly, which I like. I thought it was really well done. And even this person, Jenny Reads a Lot on Goodreads, made a very good point that there are stunning prose involved in this book. The turns of phrase that Nevo uses are very beautifully done. That writer just seems to be able to mentally create a picture that is quite stunning. And she also says that she thinks this works best as a companion to The Chosen and the Beautiful. So she did say if you choose to read it as a standalone, you'll be missing out. And so I wish I had read that like description, or at least her review, before I read it, because I probably would have gone back and gotten The Chosen and the Beautiful to get that perspective before diving into this one. And it probably would fill in those gaps for me, because this individual says she enjoyed getting an extended version of the story, like kind of seeing what happens beyond those pages. So she also, Jenny Reads a Lot, says she would have easily enjoyed a longer version of the story. Me too. I easily could have enjoyed a longer version of the story, but that's because I wanted more. I was craving more story and substance in order to really have that fully fleshed out, I guess, mini movie going on in my head. But I am not going to prattle on about like 100 pages of books. I'm just going to say it was really well done. I do suggest you read the first one, The Chosen and the Beautiful, and then dive into this one and go from there, and then make your own decisions. If you like The Great Gatsby, then this is an excellent queer perspective to take that journey on, which I've really enjoyed. And yeah, I know the title is a little odd, Don't Sleep with the Dead, but if you read it, if you dive into it, you will understand where that comes from, because it does make sense within the story. So I want to stop there, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that if you have not already, that you will like and subscribe, because I would love if you keep coming back. I am growing slowly but surely, which is always kind of fun, since this is just kind of a personal hobby of mine that I really enjoy. But it's always nice to know if people are enjoying these reviews or not, and I would love if you could leave just a comment or thought to let me know in what direction you may like, or books you might want to hear about. Do you want new releases? Do you want the upcoming books? Do you want classic books? Are you looking for me to review a series book by book? Like, if you will give me ideas, then I am more than happy to at least consider those ideas. And someone else did also ask me about cosplay stuff, which I can't say I am not great at it. I am a newbie novice at best, but I would be willing to, try to put something together along those lines should there be any sort of level of interest. But I want to thank you guys so much, and thank you for joining me on this journey. I will see you all on the next page. Have a great one. Bye.